Who's up? Who's down?
Josh, who's your up for this week?
Yeah, Austin, my up is Sean McManus, the chairman of CBS Sports, who retired officially after the Masters on Sunday. Sean led CBS for over 27 years. I've really been kind of a model leader for that network, ushered in a lot of innovation, done a lot of great things. If you look at their properties, like he's got most of their main properties locked up for quite some time. NFL, March Madness, obviously, but you look at new properties, NWSL, Champions League, PGA Tour, PGA Championship, obviously locked up through 2030 right now. So Sean's really leaving CBS in a good place, and he's got David Burson taking over his kind of long time right hand man. And so I think Sean's leaving CBS in a great spot, and so he's my up for this week.
Yeah, always enjoyed my conversations with Sean. Had a really strong NFL season to close, a really strong NCAA tournament, and I really enjoyed the shout out that Jim Nantz gave him during the Masters. Josh, my up for this week is Kathy Engelbert, and it's coming off the WNBA draft. A record TV number there, and that's going to play into some record TV numbers during the regular season. She has star power in her league, the likes that the WNBA has not seen before. Talking about Caitlin Clark, we're talking about Angel Reese. I think somebody like Camila Cardozo, Cameron Brink, a lot of big names. She has a media rights deal coming up. I think this is going to help that in the long term, but she is putting the WNBA in a really good place. There are probably a lot of markets that are going to be knocking on her door and calling her up that want to be a part of this league, so that's my up for this week. Josh, my down for this week is King Charles, the CNN show with Gayle King and Charles Barkley that was canceled. Charles tried to do the crossover thing. He tried to be a Nate Burleson and tried to be like a Michael Strahan, guys that have done that studio work and then gone over to something a little more mainstream. Yeah, maybe Gayle King probably pushed him to do it. They're longtime friends, but the show was canceled. It just wasn't a success. Charles is a Hall of Famer on the broadcast side from his work and inside the NBA. Doesn't have anything to do with that. But this show, not a success. That's my down. Who's your down, Josh?
Yeah, my down, and Austin, we talked about this a couple weeks ago as well, but it's golf TV viewership. Coming into the Masters, ratings on the PGA Tour have been down mostly across the board to this point this season. And so it was going to be interesting to look at the ratings around the Masters and see if it was a PGA Tour problem or a golf in general problem. And as we saw on Tuesday morning, it seems to be a golf in general problem. Masters down 20% year over year from last year. Last year's number was a little bit higher. I think it was their highest in 5 years, simply because it was on Easter. So that contributed to that 20% drop a little bit. But still, if you look at it, Austin, this is the just under 10 million viewers, less than 10 million viewers, was the third lowest Masters final round since 1997. And the two that were lower than that were in 2020, which was held in November, and then 2021, which was a limited, patron experience at Augusta National. Hideki Matsuyama won that tournament going away. There wasn't any drama in the final round. And so really what that shows me is that, like I said, there's a golf viewership problem with this ongoing fight between LIV and the PGA Tour. To me, it says that a lot of fans are just sick of watching this on TV. They're tired of it. This drop in TV viewership comes, as we've reported on in the last month or so. Ever since COVID, there's been a big increase in on-course participation and participation on simulators, things like Topgolf, et cetera. So it's really going to be interesting to see, as this fight between LIV and the PGA Tour keeps going, are more fans going to be pushed away? Are we going to continue seeing lower viewership numbers? Now, you could also, flip side of that, say, well, more people are streaming these events, that sort of thing. That probably does contribute a little bit to some of the lower numbers, but those same comments weren't happening last year when the Masters was over 12 million viewers and was its highest final round in 5 years, right? So I think something's got to give in this ongoing battle between these two tours. We've seen what a fractured sport can do to something like open wheel racing, a couple decades ago. And, I really hope that men's professional golf is not headed in that direction.